Hey there, welcome to Fumble Forward, where we explore turning life's imperfect moments into growth moments. I'm Akuya, your host. Get ready to laugh, maybe shed a tear, but most importantly, be inspired to live a life with intention. Let's dive in. To be honest with you, I almost did not make it to this episode because life is lifing real hard right now. And I am just life is hard, so I'm praying even harder. That's what I will say to that. And it's very much feeling imperfect right now. I'm feeling imperfect, just trying to figure out relationships, trying to figure out how to show up in a way that's true, that's honest, and also making sure that the other person is feeling like they can be true and honest and just navigating that space together. And so there's been a lot on your girl's mind. A lot, but I just got to eat a delicious dinner by the water. So your girl is fed, a bit more energized, and ready to be here with you because this concept of waiting and what it means to wait and how to make the most out of it, this theme for season 2 is so close to my heart. So close to my heart. And I just firmly believe that anyone and everyone can relate to a season of waiting. And so this episode will be about 8 questions to ask yourself when you're waiting, when you're in a season of waiting. What do you ask yourself to navigate through it all? But before we jump in, I really want to give you all the benefit of the doubt that you are just, what is the word I'm even trying to look for? That you're just such in a great place after these episodes that you go on and live your best lives with intention immediately, and then you forget to join Fumble Forward texting group. And you really don't want to miss out on this texting group for the obvious reasons I've stated before of just elevating your Fumble Forward podcast experience. But also, the last Wednesday of the month, I'll be doing a Fumble Forward raffle. So you'll be entered in for a chance to get a $10 e-gift card. And I'm kicking it off with Starbucks for the month of March. So if you want in on the raffle and you're like, ooh, I'm definitely a Starbucks girly, then you should join the texting group. If you want a chance to win, it'll be a random drawing. And you just have to text join to 877-509-1404 right now. And details are always in the show notes about that. So we are in a season of waiting, and being in a waiting season can have you all over in your thoughts. And in so many ways, as I'm just saying that, I'm like, whew, yes. And yes, that is so me. I don't think there's really ever a time when you're not in a season of waiting to some degree. And I'm definitely in a big one that I'll share with you all in another episode. But your mind is wandering, and it could feel like you're living in what if city, and you've been there so long, you went from being a resident to the dang mayor. And not that being a mayor is bad, but we don't want to be the mayor or even on city council of what if city. Okay. And not that this is a perfect list, because we're imperfect people over here. I just told you, girl has been mad imperfect the last couple days. But these questions just help help you get and stay grounded in all the thinking and worrying that comes with a season of waiting. And so I want to share with you these questions that I've come up with. And in so many ways, this is like homework for myself. Very, very much so. And up first, question number 1 is, what is God trying to teach me? Asking yourself that and seeing that every moment and experience we go through is not wasted. There's something to take from it, right? That's when you're able to really embrace everything that is the messiness and the imperfectness of life and use it to grow into your next best version of yourself. So really just asking yourself, what is God trying to teach me? And allowing that answer to not be a filtered political answer, but just the answer. Number 2, how do I comfort myself in waiting? And this is something that I didn't really do well. Like when I was in a season of really wanting to leave a toxic job and I was trying to find my next amazing job, I did a piss poor job of just comforting myself and assuring myself. And I mean, with words, with physical action, like I just was a Debbie Downer and did not love on myself during that time. And I think if I did, it would have been a lot less painful waiting season between leaving that toxic job and getting the next job opportunity. Question 3, how will I handle it if this wait is longer than I'm okay with? And this one is really getting you in the mindset of getting comfortable with things not turning out how you planned. Allowing yourself to be proactive and prepared for if things don't go as you're hoping. And that much of life is probably going to be that way. And so just being proactive about that. And that's a part of this theme for a wait well worked is this question is hitting straight on the concept of being proactive about things not going well, which I think is so important. And we don't like to think of that because we're like, no, this has to happen. Or no, I can't think, negatively. It's not that. It's equipping yourself. It's being, it's understanding your different outcomes and making sure you have a plan for different outcomes. Question number 4, are there new skills or hobbies I can explore? And this is really about staying in an active state and being in a season of waiting and not just, sitting crisscross applesauce in your room like, okay, waiting for that job, even though you haven't opened your computer. Okay, waiting for that man, even though you haven't opened up an app or joined a group, or you're waiting for that job, but you haven't learned a new skill. Like, this is a chance where you can ask yourself, is there something I can be trying and fumbling forward with and messing up and getting better during this time so that I'm focused on something that is within my control? Question number 5, do I like the people around me in this wait? So this is huge. We've been talking about who is around you when you're going through different seasons in life, and just being honest about this person really hasn't been that supportive, or this person really has been phenomenal into pouring into me, or this person is just there, and just making sure that you have a clear understanding of where people are falling in your life and how they are showing you, how they are showing up, and just having a good understanding of that, because that will help not put expectations on people that they're not meeting, they're not expecting to meet, they don't know about, etc. And this one is this one's hitting on this concept of relationships in your weight. And Boy, oh boy, let me tell you, girl has some scratches, bruises, and stitches from this one because it's just a messy, complicated thing, right? Dealing with humans. That's all I'll say to that one. Question number 6. What have been my most common emotions? So this is taking that time to think, what have I been experiencing a lot during my season of waiting, and what maybe am I not experiencing that I thought I would be experiencing? Those are all helpful to just show you where you're at. Where's your heart posture? Like, how are you taking in this moment? Because so much of life is just so quick, and before you know it's kind of dumb, but you don't even know what really happened. And so this helps you see, like, okay, you may be in a season of waiting and you realize the only feeling that you're having is anxiousness, or that the only feeling you have is restlessness, or the only feeling that you have is calmness. It just gets you in a better sense of like, okay, why am I feeling this? And making sure that that's something you're content and okay with. Question number 7. What self-care practices can I prioritize during this time? And so this is really just making sure when you're in this season of waiting, which typically waiting is hard. I mean, at least for me, I don't usually like to wait. And especially nowadays where you can just get things so quickly. So usually waiting's it's like painful. It's a painful experience. So being able to have things you can lean on for self-care practices during the time is going to help you be able to endure the wait better with less battle wounds. And so self-care can look like a lot of different things for a lot of different people. It is definitely not always just going to buy something. It is not always like, I got to get my nails done, I got to go get a facial. That could be it, but I want to be clear of like, self-care practices are not something that you always have to pay for. Self-care can literally be like, you decided to take a walk, you decided to meditate, you decided to put on your favorite cocoa butter on your skin and just take your time and not feel rushed, and your skin is moisturized. So it can look like a lot of different things for you and where you're at. Just making sure that, I just want to remind you that it doesn't have to be paid, because I know so much self-care stuff feel like you have to buy self-care. You should not have to buy self-care. That's a no-go. And the last question number 8. What's imperfect about this wait that I'm okay with? So this is all about reframing and getting yourself to see, well, legit, I'm recording, and then all of a sudden my laptop's like asking me, do you want to use Zoom audio? And the audio paused, and I was like, wait, what? Like, oh my goodness. Every time I think that I made it, that I'm just, I've conquered a little hurdle with the podcast world, it's like, psych, JK, you're not that awesome. Noted. So question 8. And this is really about looking at your weight from a different perspective. And this is actually allowing yourself to have moments when you're like, you know what? Everyone said that would be bad, but I actually don't mind that. Like, it just allows you to see like what you care about. Did you actually care about what you thought you cared about? Or is it actually okay? And just gets you to make sure the things that you're feeling are like true to you and not something that you're experiencing because the outside world told you that's what the experience would be. So those are the 8 questions. Ooh, literally as I'm reading them, I'm like, man, I really got some homework. I gave y'all homework today. I'm giving you homework along with myself, because it's definitely just been the days where I'm like, man, I am fumbling all over the place, y'all. Looking crazy, but doing my very, very best to show up every single day, because through the showing up, something starts falling into place, I like to believe. So these are the questions that I really believe will help you get where you can make the most out of a waiting season. or at least start those good habits of making the most out of a waiting season, because we are going to constantly get waiting seasons in our life. Some of them are going to be long, short. Some of them are going to be easy breezy. Some of them are going to be painful and gut wrenching. And just being able to have these questions really can just help you feel empowered to be active in your waiting season. These questions can bring you some peace to the imperfectness in your wait. These questions can really be something pretty powerful indeed. So let's dive in. What am I looking forward to? Going to the beach again. I went to the beach last Friday, and I just kept thinking, I can't wait to come back. I just can't wait to come back. I can't wait to come back. And then, man, I just feel like my energy is just not there because the thoughts are wandering, but we are doing this because I absolutely love this, and being able to just talk about such important things and build a community. It matters. It matters. So what I've been reading. So I finished Leviticus and I'm on to Numbers. So new book there. Still continuing the story of Moses leading God's people to the promised land with the help of his brother Aaron, and just talking about the constant hurdles and the commands of God. I'm not gonna lie, these chapters are dry for me. Like, I feel like we started so high with Genesis and Exodus, and now I'm just like trugging along. I'm very much trugging along. So I don't know if other people have felt that way, but Numbers and Leviticus is looking pretty dry right now. But I'm still, making sure to take what I can from it, because there's definitely something to gain from every chapter to get insight. And then if you have a friend whose mind is running, maybe like mine is today, with a million thoughts, maybe these questions can help ground them too, and just get us a little more calm and settled into the situations that we're in. And make sure to subscribe to this podcast. Join this ride that's very wild. Sometimes we're hyped. Sometimes we're just happy that we turned on the mic. But it's here where we can grow to understand ourselves better. So thank you for listening to this episode. Don't forget to join a texting group so you can be entered in for the raffle happening next week, because that'll be the end of March, which is insane. And until next time. Look at you. You stayed with me to the end. You're the best. Good thing is, it doesn't have to stop here. Dive into another episode and continue the ride.